This video will be an overview of what branching is in Git. So a good question to start with is, what is a branch in Git? And so a branch in Git is a simultaneous version of a GitHub repository that can be worked on without affecting the other branches. So here's our definition here. And what that means is that we can create a version of our GitHub repository that exists simultaneously in parallel to the main version, but we can work on that separately without affecting that main version. You might ask, why would we want this? Why is this necessary? Well, this can be really useful if we have a working version of our code or a stable version of our project, and we want to develop something new or allow a collaborator to work on a new piece of it while maintaining that original version without changing it. Then when we want to bring that new piece in, we can do something called merging it. We can merge those branches to combine them and bring those new changes in once we're satisfied with them. But during the process of working on those changes, we can have these separate branches at the time. So let's see what this looks like with a little bit of a visual. So I'm going to show this first commit here to our repository in black. And the reason I'm using black is this is our default branch. We're going to call this the main branch. And in almost any GitHub repository, the default branch, the branch that you start with, will be called main. So let's say we're making some commits. Each circle here is a commit. Let's say we're making some commits on main. And now I want to make a new branch to develop a new feature because I'm pretty happy with how main is here, and I don't want to impact main. I don't want to change it while I'm working on my new feature. So I'm going to make a new branch, and I'm going to represent this new branch in green. And it's going to go off this way. Here's my new branch, and I'm going to make a new commit to this branch. This will be branch dev for development, because I'm developing a new feature. And I can make some commits on this branch. So let's say I made 3 commits here. And during that same time, I could also be making some commits to the main. But the main and the dev, they're separate branches right now. So the changes that have been made on dev are not on main, and these changes that have been made on main are not on dev. And okay, now let's say I'm pretty happy with my changes on dev. I've gotten them to work, and I think, okay, it's time. Let's merge dev with the main. It's time to bring those changes from the developmental branch into the main branch and incorporate them into my main GitHub repository, into my main project here. What I can do is do something called a pull request. And so what that means is I'm requesting to take dev and merge it with main. So this is called a pull request. And this is saying, I'm asking, can we merge these changes with main? Usually for most projects, I would do a pull request, and then I would ask another group member, another collaborator on my Git repository to approve this pull request. Maybe they would ask for a few changes before approving it, because once the pull request is approved, what they can do is now merge. And this means combine the changes from dev, these changes from dev, and put them into the main branch. And now, going forward, any commits on the main branch, this main branch will now contain dev, and any commits going forward in time, so let's say I keep committing, any commits going forward in time, these commits will all have the changes that were made on the dev branch as well as these changes that were made to main during that period in time. So adding these branches in this way is a really useful tool because this allowed me to go off on my own and work on some stuff here for this dev branch while not affecting what was on the main branch. This is really great, especially if adding a dev feature might have the potential to break something that's already happening on the main branch. Notably, we could also have additional branches, so at different points. So I could have another branch here. Let's say this was new feature. We can have multiple simultaneous branches. So maybe we have a new feature here, we do a couple commits here, and then we do another pull request to merge this branch, this new feature branch, pull request, to merge this new feature branch into the main here. And so, especially in a large group with lots of collaborators, this is a great way of managing the fact that multiple people might be working on different aspects of the project at a different time. In the next set of videos, we'll show some concrete steps for how to manage making new branches, committing to them, and then submitting pull requests based on them. So see you soon.